Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the author, Andrew Snorton, and you're joining me for the Fast 15. As we normally do, typically about 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, or just a little bit after, like we are right now, we take about a 15-minute moment to kind of pause, check up, check in, enjoy an encouraging note from any of my books or audiobooks, and then close out, if I can maneuver around here right quick. There we go. Close out with a couple of announcements, updates, and get you on your way. As you know, when life is lifing, you might not be able to wait until later in the day or the next day for that pick me up. So I hope that when we take this moment to pause, it's giving you and others that you like and share with a time to do so, as it is for me. It allows me to kind of pause and pump my brakes and get myself together for the second half of the day or whatever is on the horizon. So to stay connected with me, you may make sure to add me on Instagram at AuthorASnorton. And when you add me on Instagram, you may then go to the link in my bio, which will take you to my Linktree, which is linktr.ee/AuthorASnorton. So when you go on my Linktree, it'll have the newsletter, which the most recent newsletter just came out on Monday, all the social media handles, including Blue Sky. Let's see, the information on the coffee, the Author Andrew Snorton blend in collaboration with Fonte's Coffee. So I'm actually sipping on the bourbon infused, but we have the decaf, light, and medium roast as well. All the updates and things along those lines. So that way you can like, add, share, follow, stay connected, and all that type of thing. So I'm going to enjoy a quick sip of coffee for the afternoon, or you can still see the steam rising, so give me just a moment. I'll tell you what, put a little bit, just a small amount of honey in this bourbon infused. It's really good. So, and you saw this is the old school mug. So on the back of it, it says "Embrace your greatness." That's one of the quotes that I used in quotes and notes. Something's on the horizon. This is definitely one of the old school mugs. So I don't know, may have to bring those back for the holidays. But anyway, getting onto our topic for the day. As I always say, for those of you that are out there that are going through some challenges, I know there's people going through physical health, mental health, financial trouble, relationship issues, community issues, stress. There's a lot, and as we're getting closer to the holidays, hey, we know sometimes those can be magnified. But if you or someone is really, or someone is really going through, some challenging times, please take a moment or two to kind of pause. Please take a moment or two to try to slow down the moving parts as best as possible. Please, as best as possible, try to address the issues one at a time, because when you try to do it all at once, it can get overwhelming. And when it gets overwhelming, it will take a toll on you physically and mentally. And you have every right to feel upset, angry, frustrated, all that type of thing. But get the help that you need, whether it's professional attention, whether it's changing up, your day-to-day routine, the people you're around, if you're able to change your living environment, work environment, whatever. Identify constructive things that will help you to pull through it. And by the same token, we know there's people out there that are going through a number of positives. I don't know, you learn how to cook something, there's a new job opportunity available, you're going to visit, a destination that you haven't visited before. There are still positives taking place, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be fooled. There are. And we have to build off of those and feed off of those. And you have every right to celebrate, because you know what you had to work through in order to get there. Just don't overdo it, because we want to see you around. Feed off the positive energy and try to share some of that positive energy as best as possible, across the board, just to keep people moving, keep people going. And do it to the best of your ability. It might not be perfect, but make the honest effort. So those are the things I definitely wanted to share with you on the outset. So the topic that we're going to pull from is from 9 Stories of Faith. This is the second book that I wrote, 9 Stories of Faith. And I'm going to pull from chapter 8. As you know, 8 is the number of new beginnings. Davidson County's person of interest. And this is interview based. So I interviewed the people that are in the book, and they identified what their biggest daily challenge is and what they do in order to keep it in perspective. So here's a couple of pieces I want to read from that. So again, Chapter 8, Davidson County's Person of Interest, from the book 9 Stories of Faith, Volume 1. He opens by saying, I am a man who believes the only true pathway for success is through failure. There's no way to achieve improvement with struggle. There is not a lot of separation between the natural, literal, universal, or spiritual. They all work in unison. Maintaining balance between these is critical in one's daily existence. So he's saying life's going to life. And in order to get to where you're going to go, you're going to run into some failure. You're going to run into things where you plan stuff and stuff falls apart. It's going to happen sometimes. Hate to tell you, happens sometimes. But just because it happens, it doesn't mean it has to be a barrier to your success. So I definitely appreciate that. Here's another quote that's real important. The best insight I can give anyone is to find a way to measure twice and cut once. It's important in doing this so you are able to truly capture the situation at hand and make a decisive and effective decision. It's almost like take time to pause and proofread. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Before you do something, think about it and doing something twice. Look to your left, look to your right before you cross the street. Well, that kind of makes a lot of sense. Like before you dive in, and this sounds like an approach that I use on the education end. Read, organize, and dive in. That makes a whole lot of sense. Like, just measure stuff and get the info that you need to make the best decision possible, and then go ahead and make your decision. So those are two nuggets from Chapter 8 of my second book, 9 Stories of Faith, Volume 1. You definitely want to make sure to pick it up. You can order it online, but definitely check out the bookstores that are carrying all of the books. Or, order direct for your autographed copy. So those are some neat things from for today's lesson or today's unit that I want to share. So before I dive in on upcoming events, I always want to recognize people that join in. Nakir, please forgive me for mispronouncing it. Nakir Shada Barbie Diva. Okay, Nakir Shada Barbie Diva. Thank you so much for taking time to join, and thanks for being patient with me if I mispronounced your name. Y'all make sure to check her out. Creative Minds, doing some creative work, so definitely check her out. So a couple of quick things, announcements, things along those lines. The next time you can connect with me in person will be this Saturday, November 23rd, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Jacksonville, Florida at San Marco Books and More. This will be my very first book signing I'm doing in the state of Florida. I know I've published since 2017. Hadn't made it down to Florida. Don't hate. Hadn't made it down to Florida yet. So for those of you that are in Jacksonville, Duval County, the interlocking areas, make sure to join me at San Marco Books and More this Saturday, November 23rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I'll feature all 4 books. I'll have limited bags of the coffee. I'll have a few of the bourbon infused. You definitely want to get this. And a couple more things, and kind of ease into the start of the holidays. So if you're already looking for stocking stuffers and you live in Jacksonville or the surrounding area, make sure to pop up, show out. Definitely appreciate it. December 14th from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. I will be doing my book signing in Raleigh, North Carolina at Bo's Books and Brews. It was originally scheduled for the last Saturday in October, but I had some things going on health-wise. Thankfully, I'm doing much better. So I'm grateful to Bo's Books and Brews for being able to reschedule for December 14th. So that's 11:30 a.m., 1:30 p.m. in Raleigh, North Carolina. Jazzy B for real is going to be the moderator for that. So you definitely want to check her out and the creative stuff that she's doing. Those are the 2 signings that are coming up within about let me count, 1, 2, within 3 weeks of each other. So I'll have those 2 book signings within that 3-week window. I already have stuff lined up for January, but I'm going to drop that in December. But January 30th is a date you want to mark for 2025, but I'll dive into that a little bit later. Couple other just, reminders. In addition to ordering on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, please, when you click the link in the bio for my Instagram, and click on the newsletter. Go to the newsletter, go to the very bottom. I list all the venues that are carrying all the books, all the coffee and things along those lines. So yes, it is great to order online from Amazon and Barnes and Noble, but let's not forget our independent bookstores, our coffee houses, cigar lounges. Yeah, I'm in a couple cigar lounges too. So make sure to check out all those amazing venues that are supporting me. And also, when you're supporting me by getting your stuff there, you're supporting those venues. And there's some great people doing some great things business wise and otherwise. So we want to make sure to patronize them. So when you're patronizing me, you're helping patronize them. So let's do what we can to lend support. Try to see if there's a few other things on the horizon. I know I already mentioned the book signings that are coming up. I already mentioned, stay connected. Another thing, a new platform that a lot of people are migrating to, Blue Sky. You can check me out, AuthorASnorton on Blue Sky. Again, just another way to communicate with people. And, in the event I decide to let one platform go, I'm already squared away. So, but definitely make sure to add and follow, like, and share. Trying to think if there's anything else going on. Just want to say thank you to every reader, every book club, every bookstore, every book festival, special event, coffee house, cigar lounge, folks across the board. Ever since I did my first book in 2017, I've been blessed to publish 4 books, have an audiobook series, which is 5 audio books, the coffee collaboration with Fonte's Coffee, and just being able to connect with great people really all across the country, up and down the East Coast. I have to give a shout to Marcus Books out in Oakland, California. That's the furthest west that I am. So hopefully first quarter 2025, let's make it happen, Marcus Books. I'm just saying, I'll remind you guys, let's make it happen. Same thing with Next Chapter Ben's Boys. I know they're waiting on me, so thanks for your patience. I'm going to get to where you guys are. And just thanks again to every bookstore and every spot. Getting a chance to be authentic and accessible with my writing is a blessing. And to be able to do it with each and every one of you is definitely a joy. So thank you. Continued blessings, well wishes, encouragement. And of course, we need encouragement every day. But with the holidays around the corner, and some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Sometimes the holidays can be a real stressful time for people. So let's do what we can to reduce the stress. Let's do what we can to reduce the negative noise. Even though there's a lot of negative noise and negative imagery out there, let's do what we can to counter that and provide safe and encouraging and constructive spaces where we can go about our day to day and do what we can to be the best people we can be, the best family members, the best husbands, wives, helpmates, friends, family members, all that. We definitely need a major dose of, and I don't know if this was Martin Luther King Jr. who said it or Jimi Hendrix who said it, but I like this quote. And I'm paraphrasing, the power of love has to be greater than the love of power. The power of love has to be greater than the love of power. So on that note, and before we sign off, definitely thank you, Nakir Shada Barbie Diva. Thank you so much for popping on. Please check her out. Send her words of encouragement and things along those lines. I'm going to go ahead and bounce and get ready. I got to get ready for Jacksonville this Saturday. So looking forward to being there. Until next time, everybody, all of you take very good care. Continued peace, love, happiness, joy, blessings, good things coming your way. And like I say, whether slow or swift, movement is movement. Whether Whether slow or swift, movement is movement. Whether small or big, a victory is a victory. So keep it moving, keep it victorious. All of you take very good care. I'll see y'all real soon, and wheels up for Florida in a couple of days. Actually, this weekend. All right, take care, guys. I'll see you later.